Good morning, everyone. Good morning, grade 5 learners. Welcome to Aral TarlakHenyo, here on RTV Tarlac, Channel 26. Simulcast over DZTZ, Radyo Pilipino Tarlac. I am Jose Jasper Ian B. Lampa, your teacher broadcaster for Mathematics 5, and I will be with you as we make the most out of our discussions today. Dear learners, come and join me as we unravel the most essential learning competency for today. Make sure you are in a comfortable place right now so that you can listen properly and attentively in today's episode. Please prepare your pen, ball pens, and notebooks. And of course, your Mathematics 5 learner materials. In today's lesson, we will be discussing about visualizing percent and its relationship to fractions, ratios, and decimal numbers using models. Before that, I want to know if you still remember our previous lessons by answering the following questions. Question number 1. How do we rename ratios into fractions? Correct. To express ratios in fraction form, write the first quantity as the numerator and the second quantity as the denominator. Then, express in lowest terms. Well, how do you rename 16 to 100 as fractions? You are right. 16 to 100 in fraction form is 16 over 100. This is read as 16 hundredths or 4 over 25 in lowest terms. And how do we express fractions as decimal numbers? Very good. To express fractions to decimal numbers, divide the numerator by the denominator. Now, how would you rename the fraction 16 over 100 as a decimal number? Again, how would you rename the fraction 16 over 100 as a decimal number? Let's see your answers. 16 over 100 in decimal numbers is expressed as 0.16 or 16 hundredths. Congratulations! You are all geared up for the next lesson. A certain soap advertisement says that their product kills 99% of germs. What is meant by the soap brand in saying it kills 99% of germs? Let's have an illustration. Percent came from the Latin word percentum, which means for every 100. Percent is a ratio of a number to 100. It is represented by the percent symbol that looks like a fraction bar with zeros as denominator and numerator. To represent this in a model, make a big square and divide it into 100 smaller squares. If each square is 1%, it means that 99 squares must be shaded to represent 99% of the germs. This means that 99 out of 100 germs are killed every time you will use their product. Can you now express the shaded region, or 99%, as a fraction or a decimal number? We will find out later. As defined earlier, percent is a ratio of a number to 100. And we already know that ratios can be expressed as fractions and decimal numbers. If this is possible, therefore, percent may also be expressed as fractions, decimal numbers, and vice versa. To make things clear, let's have the following examples. Let's begin with example number 1. 100 applicants took the qualifying examination, but only 34 applicants passed the test. The applicants are represented in the figure wherein the large square is divided into 100 small squares. What percent of the large square are the shaded parts? 34 out of 100 small squares are shaded. These represents those who passed the test. Now each of the smaller square is 1 over 100, or 1% of the large square. Therefore, the shaded part is 34%. Easy, right? Let's move on to example number 2. A large square is divided into 100 small squares. 50 of the 100 squares are shaded, or 50 hundredths in fractions. If each small square is 1%, how is this going to be renamed in percent? Correct. 50 over 100 is 50%. You were all awesome. You have just learned how to change fractions to percent. Now, we're going to take up changing percent to fractions. Here is how. To change percent into a fraction, remove the percent sign and write the number as the numerator. Then, write 100 as the denominator. This is from the definition that percent means for every 100. And of course, finally, expressed in simplest forms. Let's have an example. How would you write 60% as a fraction in its simplest form? First, remove the percent sign, so what remains is 60. Then, write this number as your numerator. Now use 100 as the denominator, so we will have 60 over 100, or 60 hundredths. And finally, reduce to simplest form or lowest terms. And that is correct. The simplest form of 60 over 100 is 60 hundredths, 3/5 over 3 over 5, or 3/5 rather. Now, can we rename 3/5 back to percent? Again, can we rename 3/5 back to percent? To rename a fraction to percent, just multiply the fraction by 100%. 3 multiplied by 100% is equal to 300%. This will be our numerator. For the denominator, multiply 5 by 1. Yes, this is equal to 5. Now, we divide 300% by 5, which gives us, correct, 300% divided by 5 is 60%. How are you all doing, grade 5 learners? I hope you're getting along well. Let's continue with our lesson. Now, we're going to express percent as decimal numbers. There are two ways to convert percent to decimal numbers. First, write as a fraction and divide the numerator by the denominator. Here are our examples. Rename 34% as a decimal number. How would you write 34% as a fraction? Very good. 34% in fraction is 34 over 100 or 34 hundredths. What would be the result if we divide 34 by 100? You are right. The result will be 0.34 or 34 hundredths. Another method is by removing the percent symbol and moving 2 decimal places to the left. Again, to the left. Here is our example. In writing 34% as a decimal number, remove first the percent sign or symbol. What do we have now? Correct. We now have 34. Now, move 2 decimal places going to the left. We will then have 0.34. Therefore, 34% is 0.34 in decimals. Take note that we use 0 to take the place of the digit in units place value. Let us have another one. How would 5% be renamed as a decimal number? The figure 5% has only one digit. How are we going to move 2 decimal places to the left? You are right. Remember, we use 0 as a placeholder. Let's do this. Remove the percent sign and retain 5. What will you get if you move 2 decimal places to the left? The result would be 0.05. Thus, 5% is 0.05 in decimal form. How are you doing, grade 5 learners? I am sure you are eager to learn more. Let's go back to our lesson. How would you rename decimal numbers to percent? Very good. We can rename decimal numbers to percent by, number 1, move 2 decimal places to the right and attach the percent symbol, or number 2, multiply it by 100%. Let's try renaming 0.12 in percent notation. What will be the result if we move 2 decimal places to the right? Correct. We will have 12. Now, affix the percent sign or symbol. Therefore, 0.12 or 12 hundredths is 12%. You are all doing great. Let's try the other method. Multiply 12 hundredths by 100%. What did you get? Excellent! 0.12 or 12 hundredths multiplied by 100% is equal to 12%. Time check. The time now is 11:46. To our grade 5 learners, I admire you for being good listeners. Let's continue with our lesson. Now, let's go back to the question I posted earlier. Can you rename now 99% as a fraction or a decimal number? Again, can you now rename 99% as a fraction or a decimal number? Yes, you surely can. How is 99% renamed then as a fraction? If your answer is 99 hundredths, you are correct. And how would 99% be expressed as a decimal number? Excellent! 99% is 0.99 or 99 hundredths in decimals. That's it, grade 5 learners. Let's see now if you can apply what you have learned in our lesson. I will guide you in answering the activity. Let's begin with activity letter A. Determine what percent of each figure is shaded. Again, determine what percent of each figure is shaded. Let's begin with number 1. 24 out of 100 squares are shaded. Again, 24 out of 100 squares are shaded. What percent of the figure are the shaded parts? And the correct answer is 24%. Number 2. 40 out of 100 squares are shaded. Number 2. 40 out of 100 squares are shaded. The shaded region is 40%. Let's go to number 3. 30 out of 100 squares are shaded. Again, number 3, 30 out of 100 squares are shaded. The correct answer is 30%. 30 out of 100 is 30%. And lastly, number 4, 20 out of 100 squares are shaded. The correct answer is 20%. Very good, grade 5 learners. I am sure you are ready for another activity. Here we go. Number 1. What is 34% in decimal numbers? Number 1. What is 34% in decimal numbers? Moving 2 decimal places to the left, the correct answer is 0.34. Number 2. Write 5 over 2 or 5 halves as percent. Again, write 5 over 2 or 5 halves as percent. To change a fraction to percent, just multiply the fraction by 100%. And we have the answer as 50%. Number 3. Express 0.60 in percent notation. Again, express 0.60 in percent notation. To change decimals to percent, move 2 decimal places to the right and attach the percent symbol. Alright, number 3, 0.60 as percent is 60%. Number 4, how do you write 50% as a fraction in its simplest form? Number 4, how do you write 50% as a fraction in its simplest form? To change percent to fraction, remove the percent sign and use that number as denominator and 100 as the denominator. Of course, simplify your answers. And the correct answer is 1/2 or 1/2. Number 5. How do you write 8/25 as a decimal number? Again, how do you write 8/25 as a decimal number? To change fractions to decimal numbers, divide the numerator by the denominator. And if you said 0.32 or 32 hundredths, you are correct. Well done, grade 5 learners. So we were able to visualize percent and its relationship to ratios, fractions, and decimal numbers using model. Dear grade 5 learners, before we end our session, I would like you to react on this question. What are the similarities and differences of fractions, decimals, and percent? Do they matter? Why? You may write down your reactions on a paper for your portfolios. To our online viewers, you can leave a comment in our comment sections or email me at www.jazzmjweng@gmail.com. Have fun and enjoy while doing the activity. Let us have a recap. What is percent? Correct. Percent is a ratio of a number to 100. It is denoted by the percent symbol. And how is percent related to ratios, fractions, and decimal numbers? Percent can be renamed as ratios, fractions, and decimal numbers. To express percent to fractions, first, take away the percent symbol. Second, write the number as the numerator. Third, write 100 as the numerator. And number 4, simplify to lowest terms. Dear parents and guardians, please provide assistance to your children in answering the next activities found in their math learner materials. Time check, it is now 11:54 a.m. Well, that's it for now. You will have more math activities next meeting. I hope you learned a lot today. Once again, I am Jose Jasper Ian B. Lampa, your teacher broadcaster for Mathematics 5. Until next time.